Hopefully you've brought it to class. All right, so let's go through these then in our notes book, and even if you're not finished, make sure you're paying attention so that you can answer the next step to get the next skill. All right, so 3C. Now we're going to continue the same thing, Bridie, again, but the difference here is we're introducing things a little bit more complex. We have arrows here. Now what this means is it's going that way forever. It's going to just continue forever. It's approaching infinity in both the x and the y direction. So we've got to consider that. So if we look at this one here, we'll start again with domain. And domain, we always go from the lowest value of x to the highest value of x. So the lowest value of x is the point furthest to the left. All right, this is very clearly defined for us. The point furthest to the left is -2. And then the point furthest to the right, we can see, is that it's going to infinity. Okay? So we're going to do this over a series of steps. We're going to answer this over a series of steps, but what we'll see is there's only one answer, and you only get 1 mark for the answer anyway. So that's going to be the statement that we start with. We include this lower x value. We don't worry about including that upper x value because infinity, it's not a number that it reaches, rather it just means it continues forever. Okay, so the first step is to set it up like that. The second step is to drop the infinity. All right, so we're just going to write this statement. -2 is less than or equal to x. And then there's one more step, which is when we're writing a domain that only has 2 points in it, the variable must come first. At the moment, we have the number stated first, so we need to flip this. Now, what that means is we're basically taking it and we're going to flip it like this. You can imagine we're flipping it like that. So x is going here and it reverses the inequality. All right, so I think the first step, we've sort of shown that we've mastered that, okay? We've got 2x values. The second thing we have to do is drop the infinity. And then the third thing we have to do is flip it so that the variable comes first. Now let me describe what this means in terms of this graph, okay? Because when you get good at this skill, you don't need to do these steps. You can just write straight to the answer. What this says, x is, for this graph, x is larger than or equal to -2. Let's have a look. Here's the graph, here's the lowest x value -2, and we can see x is either equal to that or larger than that. Okay, perfect, all right? If you can see x is larger than or equal to -2, you can go straight to that point. Otherwise, here's the strategy. Let's do it the same thing for y. So for y, we'll start with the lowest value of y, the point furthest to the bottom. And what we can see is it's going down forever. So the lowest value of y then, where am I going to write this? Up here. The lowest value for y is going to be -infinity. All right, keeps going down forever. And then the highest value for y is +4. Okay, so that's our first statement. Second step is to drop the infinity. Okay, y is less than or equal to 4. And I said we must make sure the variable, that is x or y, is stated first. Y is already stated first, so we don't need to flip this one. We have, for this graph, the y value is less than or equal to 4. Okay, here's the y value, the highest y value is 4, and all other y values are either equal to it or less than it. So the domain, x is larger than -2, the range, y is less than or equal to 4. So you're getting the mark for that, and you're getting the mark for that, okay? This is the process to arrive at that. If it helps, do it. If you can see it straight away, you can go straight to the answer. My recommendation is to start with the steps, okay? So let's do it for our next one here. We'll do the domain, the point furthest to the left, we have x is -4. We're including it. And the point furthest to the right, it keeps going to the right and up to infinity. All right. Step 2 is going to be drop the infinity. So we'll have minus 4 is less than or equal to x. And then step 3 is to make sure the variable x is stated first. So we're going to have x, we flip the inequality, x is larger than minus 4. We can see from looking at this graph, all x values are larger than or equal to minus 4. Okay. For the range, the lowest y value, the point closest to the ground, minus 5. All right, our lowest y value is minus 5. We're including that value. And then the highest y value, it's not here, it's not positive 4. This arrow tells us that it goes up forever. So we can say minus 5 is less than y, which is less than infinity. We drop the infinity. And then we flip the inequality so that the variable is first. All y values are larger than or equal to minus 5. So our answer here and our answer here. All right. If those steps help, please use them. Okay, this one here, the point furthest to the left for domain, value furthest to the left, we have x is minus 3. We include that one. The point furthest to the right is not here. This arrow suggests that it goes to the right forever. It's going to keep going to the right. So we'll chuck an infinity there. We drop the infinity. And then we flip the inequality. All right, there's our answer for the domain. All x values are larger than or equal to negative 3. All right, for the range, we go, what's the highest y value? The value of y that is highest, positive 6. All right, that's the coordinate that is highest, and the y value is 6. The lowest y value is going to be negative infinity, isn't it? The point furthest to the ground, negative infinity. So we're going from negative infinity to y to positive 6. Okay, the highest y value is 6. We're including that y value, and then we just drop the infinity, don't we? Y is less than or equal to 6. That's our answer here. All y values on this graph are less than or equal to 6. Okay, we're going to stop there because then in the next couple of examples we get into a few more skills. But that's enough for you to now answer worksheet 2. Okay, so we've finished worksheet 1, or maybe we're close towards the end of it. I'm going to say, even if you're not finished it, move on to worksheet 2. You can still finish worksheet 1 in your own time.